Today, I will be discussing the social exchange theory from Chapter 10 on interpersonal attraction and how it relates to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's relationship and the royal decision they made at the beginning of this year. So, what is the social exchange theory? Well, it's a theory that is regarding relationship satisfaction, which states that a person's feelings about their relationship depend on their perception of the rewards and costs of that relationship, while also considering investment in alternatives. According to the social exchange theory, we search for the best relationships we can find, which are usually the ones that are most emotionally valuable to us. We seek relationships that maximize rewards and minimize costs. So as you can see on the right-hand side, we like relationships where the pros outweigh the cons. First, rewards are the positive aspects of a relationship that make it worthwhile. Some examples of rewards are acceptance, support, companionship, and security. Next, we have costs, which are the negative aspects of a relationship, such as time, money, and effort. Relationships are really all about give and take. The more rewards and the fewer costs, the more we're going to like our partner and feel satisfied in our relationship. So there is sort of a mathematical equation when it comes to this theory, which is rewards minus costs equal relationship outcome. If rewards minus costs equal a positive relationship outcome, this means both parties are benefiting from the relationship. There is an equal amount of give and take. Overall, it's just a good relationship to be a part of. But on the other hand, if there is a negative outcome, this means that one party is probably under benefiting while the other one is over benefiting. There is unequal amounts of give and take, and it's probably not the best relationship to be a part of. So now let's talk about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Who are they as individuals? Well, they're both members of the British family, Meghan by marriage. Prince Harry is the second son of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, and Meghan Markle is his wife and a former African-American actress. As you can see on the bottom of the slide, there are their titles. He is His Royal Highness, the Duke of Sussex, and she is Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. Now, who are they as a couple? There's a little timeline here that shows the progression of their relationship. So it all began in the summer of 2016 when they started dating. Then in November of 2017, they got engaged, and Meghan actually gave up her acting career to support Harry in his royal duties. Then in May of 2018, they got married. A year later, in May of 2019, they had their son Archie. And then in January of 2020, this year, they made the decision to leave royal duties and the royal purse behind. So they're definitely viewed as a controversial couple. The media portrays the relationship to be very rebellious and unique, especially when it comes to the royal family. And despite being incredibly happy and in love with one another, their constant media spotlight and the discrimination that Meghan faces because of her African American heritage has caused them to feel pressured, stressed, frustrated, and angry. Due to their feelings, the couple recently decided, again at the beginning of this year in January, to part from their royal duties and split their time between North America and the UK. So now that we know more about Prince Harry and Meghan, and we are familiar with the social exchange theory, we can look at this theory to better understand their controversial relationship and especially their decision to part from their royal duties. So let's look at the relationship from Prince Harry's point of view, especially the rewards. So Meghan is attractive and desirable. She's exciting and fun to be around. She's talented with an acting background. She's hardworking. She's obviously fertile, was able to have Archie, and which was very important to the royal family because they want to have partners that are able to produce heirs to the throne. She is a philanthropist. She is passionate and progressive, especially about humanitarian and feminist causes, and she's very supportive of her husband. Now we can look at some of the costs. Meghan comes from a very different background compared to Prince Harry. She comes from a different country. Obviously, she lived in America, and he was from the UK. And their upbringings were different, even their socioeconomic statuses. She is pretty unwilling to conform to what is expected of her from the royal family. There are certain royal rules and regulations that she's expected to follow, but she doesn't feel the need to because she doesn't agree with all of them. And she had a previous failed marriage, which isn't that big of a deal in our society today, but some people still view divorce as a bad thing, and especially with how much their relationship is broadcasted in the media, it could be a potential cost. So Prince Harry's level of satisfaction is pretty high. He seems to be pretty satisfied according to our equation of their relationship. But it's obvious that the rewards definitely outweigh the costs, which means that he is satisfied being in a relationship with Meghan. He's obviously very invested. They are married, they have a child together, and they're currently living away from his family. So they're really all each other has, they're their biggest supporters. So that's really important to keep in mind when talking about investment. Now, for alternatives, obviously Prince Harry is a prince. He was always a desired eligible bachelor, and he has a lot of alternative options, but chances are he won't find a partner that's as promising as Meghan because she has so much to bring to the table and they seem to have a really great relationship. Now let's look at things from Meghan's point of view. So some of the rewards with Prince Harry are that he is attractive and desirable. He's exciting and fun to be around. He is a member of the royal family and comes from wealth, which means that he is very financially secure. He is a philanthropist as well. He's generous, hardworking, disciplined because of his military background, well-traveled, and passionate, especially about wildlife causes. Some of the potential costs are he is constantly in the media spotlight due to being a member of the royal family. His family has very high standards and demands, like I mentioned before, and those demands urge Meghan to follow these royal rules that she doesn't always agree with. And they live very different lifestyles, which in his lifestyle requires a lot of conformity, which again, Meghan always isn't so willing to do. Meghan is also satisfied or seems to be satisfied in her relationship with Prince Harry, even more than he is. But overall, it seems that they are both benefiting a lot from the relationship and it's pretty equal. Again, Meghan's investment is very similar to Prince Harry's. They are married, they have a child together, and again, they're living away from home. So they're each other's rocks and biggest supporters. As for alternatives, I really couldn't think of any better partner for Meghan. He seems to be like a great guy, and he's a prince. He brings a lot to the table. So finally, let's really focus on the royal decision that was made in January of this year when they decided to leave their royal duties and the royal purse behind. This decision was very controversial and probably really difficult to make, but observing it through the social exchange theory can help us see why it might have been the best decision for the sake of their relationship. The majority of the costs in the relationships that in their relationship that we talked about, especially on Prince Harry's side, really stem from trouble with the royal family. So choosing to abandon the royal duties and distance themselves from his family will ultimately eliminate many of these costs and help them better maintain a happy and successful relationship. I predict that Prince Harry and Meghan will go on to have a successful, long-lasting marriage and share a beautiful life together. I hope you have a better understanding of the social exchange theory and see how it really plays into Meghan and Prince Harry's relationship and their decision to leave their royal duties behind. Thank you so much.